My life has felt like a scene straight out of a film, an unexpected, heart-wrenching drama that I never saw coming. What should have been one of the most joyful moments of my life turned into a nightmare I still struggle to understand. My little sister's wedding was meant to be a celebration of love and fresh beginnings, yet it instead marked the turning point in my marriage. The tension between Frank and me reached an unbearable climax, unleashing hurtful words and actions I never imagined from the man I loved. In the ensuing chaos, I felt emotionally exhausted and isolated from those closest to me. Who would have thought that something so seemingly trivial could drive a wedge between us, changing our lives forever? Allow me to share my story from the start. My name is Megan, and I've been married to Frank for 5 years. Growing up amid constant arguments and heartbreak left scars that I carried into adulthood. I always dreamt of a partner who was emotionally mature, steady, and understanding, and I thought I had found that in Frank. His calm, wise nature became my sanctuary, a refuge where I could begin to heal old wounds. We built our relationship on trust, respect, and unwavering support, and for a long time, I believed we could weather any storm together. When my little sister Kelly announced her wedding, excitement and pride filled me. Being 8 years her senior meant I'd always been her protector, guiding her through life's ups and downs. So when Kelly asked for our help with her wedding plans, since we were essentially her only family, I didn't hesitate. "Don't worry about a thing, Kelly," I had replied, my heart brimming with excitement. "I promise you this will be the best day of your life." She wrapped me in a tight hug, and right then, I knew she trusted me completely. Frank, always supportive, chimed in with his quiet assurance. "It's a big day. She deserves nothing less than perfection." His encouragement meant the world to me, and I dove headlong into every detail of the wedding planning. Together, Frank and I devoted countless hours to perfecting every element, from selecting the venue and picking the right flowers to finalizing the menu. It wasn't just any wedding, it was our chance to create an unforgettable day for Kelly, and I wanted every moment to shine. 2 weeks before the wedding, I flew to Detroit to help with the final touches on Kelly's dress and all the last-minute details. It was just the two of us, as it had always been. A bond forged over years of shared challenges. Determined to ease her stress, I vowed to shoulder as much responsibility as possible. "Are you sure you don't mind handling all of this?" Kelly asked one night as we sifted through fabric swatches and invitation samples, her eyes betraying her exhaustion. I reached out, held her hand, and said, "Of course, Kel. Just focus on enjoying this moment. I've got everything under control." Though her grateful smile couldn't hide a lingering worry, I recognized the pressure she felt, and it only strengthened my resolve to make everything seamless. Frank joined us a week later, bringing with him a calm confidence that balanced my hectic energy. With his knack for handling logistics and his comforting presence, we managed to arrange every element with care. 5 days before the wedding, as I looked around at our nearly completed work, a swell of pride and relief filled me. Despite my inexperience in event planning, everything was falling into place, until 2 days before the big day, when a disagreement erupted over something as simple as a dress. I had chosen a dress that made me feel powerful and confident on this important occasion, but Frank objected. "I don't think it's a good idea, Megan. It's too revealing for the occasion," he insisted, crossing his arms. "Maybe choose something more conservative." The frustration was palpable as I replied, "Frank, it's just a dress. It's Kelly's wedding, and she loves it. She encouraged me to wear it." Yet he shook his head stubbornly, proclaiming that I was a married woman and should dress accordingly. His words stung deeply, and I couldn't fathom why we were clashing over something so minor. In a firm tone, I declared, "I'm going to wear it because it makes me feel good. This isn't about you. It's about me feeling confident on my sister's day." From that moment, the chill between us was undeniable. On the wedding day, Frank's silent, sullen presence cast a shadow over what should have been a day of pure joy. He barely spoke, refused to join in the laughter or even participate in the wedding games, and instead let his silence speak volumes. I watched him from afar, confused and hurt. How could he let a harmless decision ruin a day meant to celebrate love? All I wanted was for him to share in the happiness I so desperately wanted to spread, not to let his unhappiness sour everything. Then unexpectedly, in the midst of the reception, I saw Mark. I nearly thought my eyes were deceiving me. Mark, my childhood sweetheart, someone everyone believed we'd end up together, was standing right there, as surprised as I was. "Megan?" he said, his voice warm with nostalgia and disbelief. I paused, trying to process the flood of memories. "Mark, what are you doing here?" he asked with a half smile, explaining in a casual tone that my cousin, a friend of Frank's, had invited him. I couldn't help but laugh softly. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to see him at a wedding like this. For a brief, aching moment, his presence stirred memories of simpler times when life was full of possibility. But then reality intruded. As I admired the dress I'd chosen, my ankle twisted, and I teetered dangerously close to falling. Before I could hit the floor, strong hands steadied me. "Whoa, I got you," Mark said, his voice laced with genuine concern. Heat rushed to my cheeks as I clung to him, both embarrassed and grateful. In that instant, his touch rekindled memories of our inseparable youth, and I felt a bittersweet longing for what once was. I glanced about, half hoping Frank would notice, but he remained oblivious, lost in his own world and consumed by his discontent. Meanwhile, Mark was everywhere I needed him to be, kind, helpful, and undeniably familiar. As I checked on Kelly, she teased me with a mischievous smile. "So, you and Mark, huh?" I rolled my eyes, laughing despite the tension, and admitted, "He just happened to be there to catch me." Kelly's laughter and teasing banter reminded me of our carefree childhood days, a fleeting but comforting respite. Later, Mark joined us again, and within the joyful chaos of a lively celebration, he commented on how incredible the connection between us felt. "You're glowing tonight," he whispered as we danced. His words stirred something deep within me, and for a moment, I forgot about everything else. The energy of the party swept me up, and I lost myself in laughter, dancing, and the warm camaraderie of friends and family. It was as if, even without Frank by my side, I could find freedom and joy in the moment. Then came the shift. As the night drew to a close, we returned to our hotel room, and reality hit hard. The moment I stepped inside, the sour smell of alcohol greeted me. Frank was slumped in a chair, a nearly empty bottle in hand, his tie loosened and his eyes glassy. "Where the hell have you been?" I demanded, my voice trembling with anger and hurt. With a lazy chuckle and a dismissive shrug, he accused me of flirting with my old flame, rather than being there for our family. My heart pounded with disbelief. How could he blame me for seeking comfort in someone who, in that moment, had cared enough to catch me before I fell? Our argument escalated quickly, words colliding like a storm. "You were the one who was missing, Frank," I shot back, anger bubbling inside me. His next words, however, felt like a death knell. "Once we get home, I'm handing you divorce papers." I froze, shocked and heartbroken. Frank's eyes, though clouded by alcohol, betrayed a pain I hadn't expected. He continued, his voice eerily calm. "I saw how happy you were tonight, how free you felt. I haven't seen you like that with me in so long." His words echoed in the silent room, and despite the fury coursing through me, somewhere deep down I knew he was right. I wasn't happy. I tried to explain, to tell him that my feelings for Mark were nothing more than echoes of the past, as I always loved him. But each word died in the chasm between us. Frank's resignation was palpable as he finally murmured, "I don't want to hold you back. You deserve to be happy." Even in his offensive withdrawal, there was a hint of regret that cut deeper than any argument. The next morning was a fog of confusion and sorrow. Frank left without a word, leaving me to piece together a shattered dream. In a desperate bid for normalcy, I reached out for conversation while searching for him throughout the hotel, until I found him by the pool, deep in thought. His quiet nod and the soft acknowledgement of my concern offered a brief respite, yet the underlying tension remained. After a moment's respite and a brief conversation with Mark that spanned hours, filled with reminiscing and gentle laughter that reminded me of who I used to be, I returned to Frank, who offered little more than perfunctory compliments and an air of detachment. Dinner and the remainder of the reception passed like a surreal blur. I tried searching for that warmth in Frank's smile, that spark of the partnership we once cherished, but instead I found a distance that grew heavier with every passing moment. Returning to our hotel room that night revealed yet another melancholy chapter. Frank's disguise of indifference shattered when he casually mentioned, "You know what, Megan? Once we get home, I'm handing you divorce papers." His words sent a chill through me. I pleaded, explained, and tried to remind him of our shared past, but his resolve only hardened. His accusations, that my harmless gestures toward Mark were proof of a deeper emotional connection, cut me to the core. The conversation spiraled into accusations and regressive blame, until the next morning I was left packing up the remnants of a life that had once held so much promise. The cold finality of a locked door, a signed envelope of divorce papers, and the inevitability of Frank's departure left me in ruins. As I stepped out of the home we'd once built together, every piece of my heart felt shattered. I realized that pride, misunderstandings, and my own desperate attempts to spark something from the past had cost us everything. I wished more than anything that I could rewind and handle it differently, communicate more, listen longer, and cherish the love that was slipping away. Yet sometimes the smallest missteps grow into catastrophic storms that tear apart what once seemed unbreakable. In sharing this painful journey, I want to remind you, never assume that love alone is enough. Communication is the lifeline of any relationship. Look beyond insecurities and minor missteps and cherish every honest conversation. Please, if my story resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more heartfelt stories and reflections, consider subscribing to our channel and leaving a like. It truly means the world. We all make mistakes, and every loss leaves behind lessons worth learning. I'm constantly working on being more open and true about my feelings, determined that someday I will rebuild my life on a foundation of trust and sincere connection. Thank you for listening to my journey, for sharing in my pain, and for being here as I attempt to find hope amidst heartbreak. Remember, love is fragile and communication is key. Don't let misunderstandings and pride prevent you from nurturing the relationships that matter most. Stay strong, be honest, and thank you for joining me on this difficult yet cathartic journey.